Hello, hello, good people. Welcome to the start of our weekend, right? It's Friday, and I'm Chris, and today I want to talk about something that quietly determines outcomes long before opportunities ever show up, right? At least in my opinion. What is that? Readiness. Readiness. Most people focus on timing, very few focus on preparation. Me personally, I believe preparation is important, right? I believe in being proactive or being as proactive as I possibly can in every situation of life. Some people say, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm 55, I'll be 56 come Monday, January the 19th, Capricorn. And in my 56 years, I've learned that I can be prepared, right? I can be prepared. I don't know what's going on there, so I need to quickly address that. Bear with me for one moment. Thank you, and thank you. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about being prepared, being proactive. Early versus ready. Early versus ready. Being early feels exciting, right? But being early without readiness creates pressure. Pressure can be a good thing in the right setting. Pressure can be a terrible thing in the wrong setting, right? Put pressure on something and it can erupt. It can erupt in not the manner or not the way that you want it to erupt. And pressure causes mistakes. Let me say that again. And pressure causes mistakes. How many like mistakes? I don't know about you. Me, I don't care for mistakes. Mistakes are a part of life. Accidents are a part of life. How many of us like accidents? Okay, we don't like accidents. Accidents and mistakes are kind of like in the same boat, in my opinion. They go hand in hand. Some things you can't prevent, and a lot of things you can when you're prepared, right? It's a saying that says, chance favors a prepared mind. In other words, success favors a prepared mind. But that's just me. Okay, let me stick to my notes here. So opportunity doesn't reward excitement. I like rewards. Rewards it rewards structure. It rewards structure. So talked about readiness, talked about mistakes, talked about how opportunity is not does not reward excitement, and opportunities rewards structure. Structure, preparation, and readiness all align with one another. And what's my word for this year? Alignment, right? Walking in alignment. Okay, so that's rushing the next level. No, that's why rushing the next level often costs more than waiting for it. And I'm not trying to cost you anything. I'm trying to help you build up your financial wealth, right? I'm trying to help you dig out of a hole if you're in a hole. I'm trying to help you graduate from living paycheck to paycheck. That's my intent. It's up to you how much you grasp, how much you're willing to learn, and how much of that knowledge you're ready and willing to put into application. I can't make you apply the things I share with you. This is a free will country. You get to decide what it is you want to put into application in your life, right? What readiness actually look like? Readiness isn't hype, it's quiet. It looks like margin already in place. That's what readiness looks like. It looks like margin already in place. Margin might not be there at the present moment, but as you prepare, as you get situated, as you get that structure, it start beginning to look like it's taking place, it's taking hold. Peace already established. That's what readiness looks like, right? Discipline, already practiced. Understanding, already growing. Sometimes I think about how it is when we're at work, right? When we're at work and we're trying to earn that paycheck, or we disciplined to follow the rules and the regulation of the organization that we are a part of because we're looking forward to that paycheck, right? But then when we leave work, we put on this, some folks choose to put on this thinking cap that says, because I'm grown, I can do what I want to do. Coming up, my parents taught me it costs to be the boss. You want to do what you want to do? You go ahead and do what you want to do, but it costs to be able to do what you want to do. If you live in paycheck to paycheck, if you're in a financial hole, don't fool yourself like you could just go around doing whatever you want to do. If that's the case, I could be living paycheck to paycheck, and I can go buy a brand new car tomorrow, and I can afford to pay for it. Not so. Might have great credit, might have a little bit of money to put down to make them think I can afford it, and then 2 months later, they come. Okay, we're gonna leave that alone. When opportunity arrives, you're not scrambling, you're responding. When opportunity arrives, you're not scrambling, you're not fumbling around, you are responding. You're ready to take action because you're already rooted, established, grounded, prepared, ready to take charge. Okay, financial application. In money and investing, readiness shows up when you don't need every dollar to work immediately. You got some money, but you're doing okay. So you don't need every single dollar to work immediately. Some of you can hold to the side, as my good friend Larry Jones like to say. Cash up. Just cash up, right? He said if you're going to be, whatever amount you're going to be investing today or this week, put it in cash in your portfolio and only invest 25% of it. Save the other 75%. I can imagine if I only had $25 to invest this week, and all I can invest was 25% of that $25, that might be a little frustrating. But they said Rome wasn't built in a day, and don't despise small beginnings. So do what your budget and what your pocket can afford to do, right? Don't be trying to impress the whole world. Just impress yourself. All right. What it looks like when readiness shows up. You're not forced into bad decisions. I gotta do something, so I'm just gonna do this. That's not what you want to do. I said that, but I said it to make an example. That's not what you want to do, right? You want to be prepared. You can pass on things that you don't fit. When readiness shows up, you can pass on things that just don't fit with your strategy, that just does not fit with the plan that you're trying to put into action, right? That ability to say not yet is often the difference between growth and regret. And if you don't fully understand that yet, as one of my good friends, one of my good mentors would say, just keep on living. If it don't make sense today when you fall flat on your face applying it the wrong way, now it will make perfect sense to you, and you'll know how to better use that knowledge going forward. Sometimes it takes the hard knocks to get the lesson right. All right, life application. This applies to life just as much as money. Rushing relationships, rushing decisions, rushing transitions usually creates cleanup later. I don't know about you. I don't like doing the same work all over again just because I got in a hurry, missed a detail, and now I had planned on doing something as I finished this, and I had a timetable. But now the whole timetable is thrown out of whack because I got to go and redo the whole job because I got in a hurry, I didn't pay attention to detail, made a bad decision. Now I got to clean up and restart. Okay, anyway, moving on. Preparation shortens recovery time and lengthens success. Preparation extend that window of you walking in good success, right? So, because you wasn't prepared, you walked in good success for 2 weeks. Now that you're prepared, you walk in good success for 2 years. Yes, I was overstating, but I was just making a point. Weekly stewardship check-in. As part of my own discipline, and I practice discipline, I continue to build steadily. Now, my wife and my kids, even though my kids are grown, they love to say, "Well, Dad, you're so disciplined because you was in the military." I can understand why they would say that. However, I talk about my parents often. I grew up in the house of Audrey and Peter Bridges, and they were a stickler for what they say. My dad say, I don't waste my breath, I don't waste my time, I don't waste my words. I say what I mean what I say. If I said do it, you need to do it. If you choose not to do what I told you to do, it's going to be a price to pay. And that price to pay was him chopping me, right? Whether he chopping me on my behind with a belt or he chopping me with whatsoever he choose to do so. He was dad and he had the liberty to choose howsoever he wanted to chop. And don't get me mistaken. I ain't never liked the way he choose to chop me. So I choose to fall in line. That was discipline. Okay. When I was in high school, we had a band director, Mr. Miller, right? And he was a stickler for doing something he said do. If not, there was a price to pay. And when he make an example out of you, you know, you have a tendency to not want to not line up with what he said. You want to jump in alignment because you don't want to have to pay the price. Then fast forward to the military. Yes, you know, you got to practice discipline. But then when you get on these folks' job and you want to collect these paychecks, from the moment I clock in at work, I fall in line with the rules and the regulations of them above me who laid down the standards of how they want things done. Why? Because I'm not cutting my own payroll. When I start cutting my own payroll and I don't need to lean on anybody else, then it could be my own Burger King and I can do things my own way. But until then, I have to fall in line. I said all that to say, yes, I practice discipline and I don't accredit it all to the military, right? Okay, moving forward. I'm not chasing. Can't speak for you, but I'm not chasing. I'm strengthening my foundation week by week. I'm actually strengthening my foundation moment by moment, hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, year over year over year. You do it howsoever you choose to be. But I'm telling you, as for me, I'm strengthening my foundation week by week. And I'm not just talking about my financial foundation. Everything that pertains to me, because I say if you're not important at least to your own self, how are you going to ever be important to anybody else? I don't know about you, but as for Christopher, Christopher is important to Christopher, so he takes care of everything that pertains Christopher, right? That's my wife, my kids, my money, my job, my house, whatever it is, because I find out things you don't take care of, it costs you more in the long run. So I'm just speaking for me. So that consistency creates readiness. I told you I practice that in every area of my life. Well, that consistency that I begin to practice and practice and practice on the job, practice in the way I think, practice in the way I drive it, that practices of building myself up little by little in everything that I do. It helps me. That consistency creates a sense of readiness within me. And that consistency begins to pay off in every area that I apply. My finances, on my job, in my home, in my marriage, and so on and so on and so on. As my good friend Myron Golden likes to say, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, so consistency creates readiness and peace. I need to close out 10 minutes long. People say I need to stay under 10 minutes. This is the posture that lasts. Don't worry about being early. Focus on being ready, my friend, right? When readiness meets opportunity, growth becomes sustainable. If this message helped you slow down and think clearly, please hit that like, subscribe, and share it with someone leaning toward preparing patiently, right? Hey, stay ready, stay steady. Walk in wisdom, my friend.